go by blooming. And yes, this is totally random. As y'all can see, I'm actually in my room and about to shut her down, about to give me some rest, some much. And totally random. Let me mute this. Hold on. I was okay. So guys, I was taking a Reiki shower earlier this evening, a spiritual shower and cleanse and all of that. And as I was like just letting the water fall on my head and I was setting all these intentions and all of that, I heard this old school song, okay? Most of you know that, once upon a time I was more into the organized religion, and I now, have come into an awakening of understanding what true Christ consciousness is all about, right? Versus just the man-made organized religion version of that. But there was always still these like old school songs and things that I remember. And as I was taking this Reiki shower and everything, and I was like feeling good, I heard an old hymn. Okay, some of you are gonna know it. And then after I sang the lyrics of it, I heard the lyrics, and then I kind of changed the words to fit, right? So it's kind of funny. Hopefully, you may be able to use this yourself depending on where you are on your path and journey, but it's totally random and I thought I would share it. So the old school song, it goes, I'm going to sing it how it is, and then I'm going to tell you guys how I changed it, right? So the old hymn goes something like, um, I went to the enemy's camp, and I took back what he stole from me. I took back what he stole from me. I took back what he stole from me. I went to the enemy's camp and I took back what he stole from me. He's under my feet, right? So I kept hearing that. I was like, what? And so then I changed it. I was like, all right, late teen, so I'm still like rinsing and showering. I got my feet soaking in like a tub of essential oil and herbs and all sorts of things, right? And so then I changed it to, I went to the enemy. No, wait, I changed it to, wait. I changed it to, I went to the karmic's camp. Fitting tarot. And I took back what they stole from me. I took back what they stole from me. I took back what they stole from me. I went to the car. I don't want to get whether that be friends, family members, our own shadow, being ruled by the 3D template, conquering addictions, conquering those that meant you harm, right? The power that they had over you, over attachment, the enemy, the devil, Satan. All of that is relevant to, as it pertains to tarot, it's the earth, it's the over attachment, it deals with addiction, it deals with um, overindulgence when it's out of balance, okay, when it is out of sync, when it's not alignment with the heart or source, and you were affected by it, whether it was karmic lovers, karmic co-workers, bosses, clergy, spiritualists, whatever the story is. I feel like there's a collective of you all that are in this energy of total victory. You're taking back in a loving way, in a high vibrational way, in divine synchronicity and order, right? What is yours? Meaning energetically, meaning your divinity, meaning your divine birthright, right? Clearing out all of that south node toxic karmic energies. And so I feel like it wasn't just for me. I feel like it's a channeled message for those that are of you that are on similar paths and journeys that Yeah, it may seem a certain way in different seasons when you are going through the dark nights of the soul. When you are first awakening, when you're still eyeballs deep in your shadow and in your inner child wounding and your pain, and you're going through cognitive dissonance because everything that you've come to know, you find out it's all illusion and fuck shit. Um, Also, when you come to realize that most of your enemies was in your own blood, and those are some of the darkest nights that you'll go through. Okay, and so I just want to make sure I send you guys a lot of love and light via my intention. Um, it's one thing to go through that from just rando Joe Schmoes out there in the world, but when you wake up to the reality that it was your family that was your enemy, in the scriptures, it talks about that for those of you who follow biblical text or any religious text, about how I think it was King David or someone that was mentioning how, metaphorically speaking, that, okay, it wasn't the stranger, it was your kinfolk that was plotting against you, that was envious of you, that was jealous of you, that was doing rituals on you, that was trying to kill you, okay, and trying to steal from you, and all of those things. And so, um, when we allow ourselves to see this, because at first we reject it, collective, it's one of the hardest things for those that feel like they're on divine paths to be able to accept that chances are your family is being used, because your family is the easiest thing that can get to you. Okay, this is why I feel like it's used in that way to try to see if you will awaken and heal or stay trapped, right? And again, I just want to send my love and light to those of you who are coming to that awareness. I feel like that's like almost like the last little part of divine's um, true coming into their own, you know what I'm saying? Like accepting and not closing a blind eye and acting like they don't see what they see, or like they don't know what they know, and continuing to pretend and people please, and you know what I'm saying? All these different things. And it's like, no, a part of the awakening and healing is accepting that, you know what I'm saying? Without excuses any further. And the quicker we do it, the less vulnerable we become to all of the things that, you know, they've done. And that's anybody, you guys. And so I can certainly, um, I get it. That, at least in my experience, that was the hardest, you guys. I've dealt with some tough stuff in my life, but the apex was realizing that it was my own people, um, the entire time. And it's like, wow, it's mind shattering. You know what I'm trying to say? And, but the good thing, guys, I promise, is as cry your tears, go through those phases, because you gotta like, you gotta let yourself feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck me, your own mother, your own father, your own sister, your own brother, you know what I'm saying? These people that, by blood should have some decency towards you. But if they're karmic, they're karmic. If they're not well, they're not well. And sometimes that's hard for us to take. Hold on, guys. It's hard. Nobody wants to. Who wants to think that way? Who wants to feel like that? You know what I'm saying? Especially, like, I can attest to my own self, earth energy, starseed energy, that loyalty in a way, and that toxic conditioning we have, you always respect your this and you be this way and you always, and it's like, yeah, that's very convenient, because where was it on the flip? You know what I'm saying? If your parents is disrespectful, I don't care that they have sex and engage shit, fuck that. If they're disrespecting you and you're a grown person, and they're disrespecting you by lying to you in your face, by stabbing you in the back, you know what I'm saying? By doing spell work or smear campaigning or gossiping, they don't deserve your respect, because that is disrespectful. Okay? That's how I feel about that. I remember when I had one of my last conversations with my mom, and because yeah, I was telling her about some things, and I kind of knew that that was going to be probably one of the last times I ever talked to her, because I'm actually pretty much done with my people, okay? Um, Not pretty much, no, I am, okay? No, I am, all the way 100. But I remember I was talking to her about something, things that happened, and people don't know the behind the story of everything, and that's why I kind of like, I shake my head. I'm like, yeah, but some of these folks will find out one day. Um, and I was, talking about how, my sister had allowed my older niece to use my information to get electricity on, and I didn't know it until I got out here, and nobody had asked me, and that was like blatantly just that's disrespectful, okay? And if I had done that, or anyone else would have done that to them, it would have been an issue, okay? I remember saying that to my mom, and on the phone, and she said, this is her comment. She was like, oh yeah. She was like, I remember that. And what's funny is what came to my mind about all that is like, okay, the messiness of my blood. So my own mother, she never mentioned that to me. She never said anything. That sneaky behind my back behavior. Okay? She said, I remember that. So, you know, this loyalty shit to people who do shit like that, that's a program, and it's a disservice. Okay? If somebody wants respect, they gotta be respectful. I don't care how old you are. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Okay? That sneaky line plotting, scheming energy is disrespectful. Okay? And you guys, when I shared with her, what was the other thing that happened on that conversation? Um, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was telling her about, that one of the things that had happened the very last time, that I had been around my sister. Um, and because I was talking about the time where she kicked me and my son out. And um, I was like telling my mom, I was like, there's no excuse. We were basically, I was going over that because I was upset with my mom and my dad because they were enablers. They're cowards, man. They're enablers. They had, not only that, what I'm saying, make excuses. And in my mom's case, in cahoots. She tried to play the innocent role, but she not. I'm just going to put that on blast, guys. Um, so, okay. She was like, well, I already knew she was lying, so I went along with the shit for a while so I can do some recording and have some folks, some other people. I knew what I was doing because they constantly go behind my back. That's what they've been doing for years. Okay? And oddly enough, they do it to each other. So I was done with it. That's part of why I was already done with them. Because I'm like, I don't have time for that. I'm not going to play the circus show. I'm not doing it. I'm not. So, um, I was like, no, there's nothing that could justify that, right? And then her comment was something like, oh, well, you know how, and you just hear so many stories, right? Same people and person that claim to be so into God, so discerning, right? The same things that she say, she had heard is the same people she gossiped about and complained about. She had shit to say about my sister and my niece. See, this is the messy stuff that I just walked away from. But then they try to paint me in a certain light to everybody, and I don't appreciate that. I really don't. So, I was like, okay. When she said that, I was like, okay, she full of shit too. Collective sorry. I'm like, really? She was lying. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, really? Really? What did they say I did? Did they say I beat somebody up? Did they say I stole something? What did they say? That warrants what she did. Nothing. Okay? Um, so collective, and I know it sounds like it's not related, but it is related to what I was saying when I first came on, okay? You know, you guys, if you're in this place where you've kind of dealt with that and you're past the beginning stages, you're taking back what karmics have stole from you. You're taking back your true, authentic self, your authentic voice, your truth, your everything that they tried to keep silent, that they tried to control, like, you know, their spell work, their fucking, you know what I'm saying, all of that shit, okay? And what I'm sharing is a part of the hardest things if you're not quite there, the hardest things maybe that you have to overcome. Okay, for the longest time, for years, you guys, and I mean years, I didn't want, I always knew things were off, but I didn't want to believe that anyone that shared my blood would be that fucked up. I didn't want to believe it. And especially since, you know, like most black cultures, you know, we wear those masks of we Christians and we got Bibles and shit, you know, but, you know, not true Christ consciousness, just religion, okay, and be the most fucked up of the fucked up, but pretending not to be. You know what I'm trying to say? Uh, that narcissism, that projection, and that's what my people really did essentially. And I don't appreciate it. Neither does Source or my light team. Because they projected all of their shit onto me like a scapegoat. I don't appreciate the spell work. I sure enough the fuck don't appreciate the shit they did to my son. You know what I'm saying? This is what really let me know when I came to fully awaken to the kind of shit these people were doing, it let me know, like, you know, you can look at it however you want, but at the end of the day, if blood will do those things to you, blood is not worth dealing with. Okay? If they don't have the DNA or the template inside of them to be compassionate and loving in their blood towards you, then fuck that. If they can sit and hire some practitioners on some fuck shit, and you know they themselves start doing some fuck shit on some dumb shit, something wrong. Okay, something is severely, sorely wrong. That's the enemy. Like in the scriptures it said, the enemy was my kin. And we see this, guys. So please don't get all, you know, trippy. You know, people read the Bibles and all these spiritual texts all day long, and they don't apply it to understand, like, do you not get that these are references of life, just everyday life? We're looking at it like it's some once upon a time bedtime story and shit. And it's like, no, no, look at the dysfunction, okay? All throughout, all of it, okay? Saul wants to kill David, you know, because, well, y'all know the story of that, you know what I'm saying? And then more stories, Joseph, his brothers, you know, you guys hear me make these references because a lot of you are coming from organized religion, and it's like, there's elements of truths in all of these things. It's just not in the matter in which they think. Okay? But this is why when you get to this awakening and there's a lot of jaw-dropping information that starts to come to you, it's helpful to remember those things, okay? First of all, they did it to Jesus. One of the clearest examples of the ultimate disgusting, appalling behavior, okay, is, you know, Yeshua, Jesus, greatest ascended master, true Christ consciousness, yada yada. I'm not going to get too deep into that. But the appalling shit he went through, okay? With folks that's claiming to be on his team, folks that's claiming to know God, folks that's claiming, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, if they treated him like he wasn't shit, none of us on the earth plane at this point is really no different. Okay? Um, if he was not properly recognized, chances are if you're a divine being and on an ascended path, that you're going to endure that as well. Okay? Um, he even said something. Who is my mother and father? You know what I'm saying? People don't get why he even said some of the shit he was saying. It's like, look, yeah, I was born into that, and it was a reason because I came to clear some shit up, but who is my mother and father? Okay? Not the motherfuckers that's trying to kill me and interrupt my get down. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? Right? Y'all, I know it hurts, but can you guys imagine what it was like for him to go through some of those things? Can you imagine what it was like for Joseph? Can you imagine what it was like for Jacob? Can you imagine what it was like, for different ones that it's like, look, it was your own people that's constantly fucking trying to compete and compare and strategize and steal and manipulate your own folks. Cain and Abel, for no damn good reason other than the fact that Abel was, had pure intentions. And since he had pure intentions, his things were noted to be honorable and noble. And Cain couldn't handle it. Sheer jealousy. Okay? Sheer jealousy drove him to murder. People do that today. It's called spell work. It's called smear campaign. It's called trying to set people up to be hurt. It's called lying and forgery and thievery. Okay? It's called trying to ruin someone's career because you're jealous. It's called all that. It's the same thing. It is the same thing, collective. And you may have gotten used to dealing with that in the world, but when it came really close and accepting it, that's the part, okay? And trust me, old Bloomy Bloom is sending y'all love and light for that part a lot. Because it's almost like the nail in the coffin. You're never the same after that, okay? But in a good way, because if you heal, boy, I tell you what, talk about 9 lives and sharp as hell. 9 lives and sharp as hell. Then you get the higher realms backing you up. Then it's like hell to pay. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it rolls. Like, if people did injustices to you for years, all of that stuff mount up. And that's a part of life, though, you guys. It's lessons. I was talking to my team about this earlier. It's all really meant for that. But it's up to individuals to kind of, lean into the lesson versus continue to resist, which gets them further and further disconnected from their divinity. And all of that, right? They keep on insisting on, okay, I'm gonna win at all costs. I'm gonna keep doing spell work. I'm gonna win at all costs. I'm gonna keep trying to sabotage. I'm gonna win at all costs, and then they wonder why, right? So check y'all. Just know that if you, my beautiful HIGHVIBE viewers, followers, subscribers, I know you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. We're not perfect, but hear me out. If you are truly and sincerely on this ascension path and you are surrendering to this process, just know that as you stay there, that old hymn that I heard went back to the enemy's camp, took back what they stole from me. Okay? You can make it modernized like I did when I was in my Reiki shower. You can say, I went to the karmics. I went to the karmics camp. And I took back what they stole from me. Took back your voice, your truth, your identity, your divinity, your right to be here, your right to be heard, right? Your right to be seen, your right to be happy. Taking it all back where you gave your power. I took it back, right? That's what some of you guys are doing right now, okay? And if you haven't yet, just wait for it. Just stay the path. Just keep surrendering to your higher self. Keep doing the best you can to clear and cleanse your energy and to cut ties and to put up healthy boundaries and stop entertaining illusion. And, the quicker you can accept the realities of things, the easier you'll start to move through the pain, the hurt, the confusion of it all. Okay? It is disorienting, right? But it gets better. I promise. I promise. I so promise you guys. It gets better. It starts to feel better. You start to see the lesson in it. And that's something that, when I was talking to my team about it, I was like, well, they know I ain't playing, but they ain't playing even more than me. They know I ain't playing. Um, in terms of the things that they've revealed, the things that's been exposed, the proofs that have come out, and they're handling it. And I mean business. Um, because now I'm at the point I know my heart and I know, where I am in the journey and where I am with my higher self and source. So that's why I have comfortability speaking that way. But I'm like, nope, done. It's time now. Because when you look at some of the things people have caused you and what they've done, and then they have the audacity to hide like cowards and remain silent or pretend like they didn't do things, then it's like, all right, team, let it rip. Let it rip then. Because like everybody else on the earth, none of us are above God, source, creator, laws of the universe. We all have to be taught that, one way or the other. And so I was like, no. No, let it rip. Let it rip. You know, um, and that's justice. And some people would go, trying to manipulate, and I'm appalled. Low. By the way, let me say this for the record. Let me say this. Do not permit and want, if you're coming on my profiles, my social medias, videos, content, or whatever, watching them, I don't care, fake incognito profiles, whatever, okay? Do not come here, okay, advocating for, making excuses for, trying to protect or take up for narcissists, people that have abused folks like myself for a long time. Don't do it. Don't use spirituality. Don't do it. First of all, I see through it, but don't do that. It's appalling to people who have been severely mistreated by people, and everyone else were cowards and didn't do anything, didn't say anything. So don't come on my profiles trying to say nothing about, don't make it worse or none of those shit like that. Because these people were not concerned about making shit worse or not making things worse for the people that they've abused and mistreated. Okay? They were not concerned about fairness. So don't come on my channels and my platforms talking about none of that. Okay? Love is also justice. Okay? That's a part of that narcissistic programming and group controls where people attack the victims and try to take up for, you know what I'm saying, the criminals. It's twisted. Making excuses and all of that. That's that enabling, tongue-biting energy. Do not do that on my platform. I won't respond to you. I won't honor it. I'll probably block it. If I wanted some teachings, I'll go onto your profiles. If you're not here to listen to or benefit from why I am called and why I do what I do, then keep your comments to yourself. If you're not here to share your experience in a positive way, then keep your comments to yourself. If I want to know about your opinion and teaching, I'll go onto your channel and platform. Okay? So don't come here doing that, projecting that energy. They're in fear because they're getting exposed. Okay? And that's the real as they can convince everybody to protect them, enable them, and bite their tongue. Those days are over for the kids. I wish these people well on their journey. Hopefully they surrender to their light teams. Hopefully they start to heal and wake up. That's their choice. That's their life. But I will not tolerate abuse. I have a right to speak my truth. I have a right to defend myself, as do people like me. Like myself and my son, people that others try to look at as dispensable and less important, and call themselves sacrificing. And then the people who turn a blind eye because they're cowards. You know what I'm saying? So if people want to be cowardly, people like me is standing up and speaking the truth and doing the right thing. Okay? So just keep your shit to yourself. Okay? Chances are you one of they flying monkeys. Chances are they got a spell on you. Chances are you're probably in cahoots with them anyway. So save it. Okay? Save it. Distorted, cross-eyed spiritualists, you know what I'm saying? If you're so of love, there's no way you would have taken somebody's money to do no type of a death ritual on somebody. So I want to hear it. Okay? Christian, yeah. You wouldn't be praying death and speaking and declaring that over nobody if you're truly divine and have Christ consciousness. So I don't want to hear it. I am keeping record of everything that happens on my social media to make sure that the FBI is aware. Because I will not tolerate any further. I'm aware that cyber stalking is illegal. Get a life. Or watch yourself get caught up. And I don't care who you are. Okay? Clergy, exes, fucking family, I don't care. We have a right to live and speak our truth. Measurability, invincible. Okay? I'm not co-signing silencing people. Especially individuals that have been verbally assaulted. I've been called all sorts of names on my profile, on my content, on my social media. Okay? People have reported my videos, people have called me out of my name, people have spread rumors, people have tried to tap into my device, all sorts of things. So, you guys hear this for a reason. So before you think you know what you think you know, better just to mind your business if you're not going to have the courage and guts, first of all, to face it. Alright? That was for the folks, the other folks, okay? Now for my beautiful collective, hopefully this empowers you. That's why I'm here. Okay? These people like to get in groups, and they like to try to get people isolated, to bully them, to blackmail them, to control them, to make them feel small, to make them feel weak, to make them feel alone. You're not alone. Okay? Surrender to your path, your higher self source, and know that there are other people like myself out there that's genuine, not perfect, but genuine, healed, awakened, surrendered, has a heart chakra that's awakened and healed and alive and well. So know that you can always find some energetic support in that way when the going gets tough, okay? But many of you, congratulations, because you're already in that energy. I picked up in the shower, my Reiki shower tonight. Old school hymn. You done gone to the enemy's camp. You done went to the karmic's camp. symbolically speaking, right? Energetically speaking. And you done took it back, right? I'm happy for y'all. Those of you all who made it there. Congrats. Keep at it. With ya. We in this together, man. Right? It's alright. It's a part of it. Watch how strong you become. Watch how confident you become as a result of allowing yourself this process where you don't feel codependent, where you don't feel like you have to be in a group control, like you got to tell you what you think and feel, right? You know that you have source and the team backing you to go through all the various changes and seasons of life. Watch how things start to change when you embrace this, okay? All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep. I was trying to create a little bit of cool little aesthetics for you guys, but I don't think I got it to work. I was trying to get like this, so y'all can see like, could y'all see this wool? Could y'all see this wool? See, no, it ain't working. I think it has to be super dark for you to see this. Yeah, so I was trying to create that little fun little visual effect, but anyway, listen to some subliminals, some sapien, I think it's called sapien medicine on YouTube. Those are really good as well. Healing frequencies and tones, get your earphones or just let it play in your room or in your bed, you know. If you feel like you're really plagued in your mind and your thoughts, chances are if you've been dealing with karmic, you probably are. So that programming, your chakras, that subconscious, that mind, you know, see how you're guided and just let it rip. Start doing that every day. And you'll start to see small inklings of change, okay? And then just make better choices that your higher self is trying to guide you to. Nobody can do this for you, beautiful souls. Nobody can do it for you, okay? The Reiki Master can't, the tarot reader can't, the preacher can't, you know what I'm saying? Nobody can do this. You have to make the choices daily, right? That's where you grow, that's where you heal, that's where you develop. It's outside of any meeting you go to, okay? It's beyond that. It's life, okay? Ask yourself, what would you do if there was none of these people? You'd have to go the journey. Just like the folks of old had to. Somebody was the starting point. You hear what I'm saying? It doesn't serve any of us well to be too codependent on one another. We should be confirming things for one another, cheering one another, but not reliant upon. It's still an individual journey in that way. Okay? All right, guys. Well, I'm sending you this nice glow. Another line. May you be well. Okay. Talk to y'all next time. Hope y'all have a wonderful